He's away from the computer right now.
Bitch.
Oh yeah, I need to change. I'm having everyone's volume up to max when they get in here. Can you talk for a little bit, Duan, so I can hear on the recording end?
No. I most certainly will not do such a thing.
Okay, that's a little better. Now I just have to wait for Lad and Ranger to get in here so I can hear them better. Oh.
Yay, Ranger!
Hello.
Now we just wait for Spartan to return, because the fucking asshole's gone. Maybe we can summon him like Beetlejuice.
Ranger, do you think you can talk a little bit so I can hear you on the just on Twitch end?
Hello. I am the here and the now.
No, no, that's the light between us. And okay, yeah, it's much better now.
Neat. You fixed it?
I believe so. Hopefully, I downloaded a new streaming one.
Noise.
So maybe that was the problem. I'm not too sure. Now we just have to wait for the flaker. Spartan, Spartan, Spartan.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it did happen.
I can't believe that actually fucking worked!
I mean, he was already here.
No, he wasn't. He walked off for a moment.
I came back like 5 seconds ago.
I jokingly said maybe we can summon him like Beetlejuice.
Ooh.
I see.
That was too funny. And right on cue, too.
I was being a lazy bitch again, so
Yeah,
let's start
like,
without him.
why did he wake up at noon? I've been up since 6.
Rookie numbers.
Imagine not staying up all night typing.
Wow.
Yeah, such a pity. Well, shall we kill his character and move on?
His character has to come back to life before he can be killed again.
We could just do what
Just
we
stab the
do.
corpse multiple times.
Yeah, we just do what they do to vampires.
Turn him into Swiss cheese.
Or we can do what the Nazgul did to the pillows.
That's literally what I suggested.
Yeah. Eh.
Well, no, like vampires, you're supposed to behead them, stake them, and then stick them out into the sunlight for the morning sunlight.
And if there is, and if we are in a genre where the corpse is just a very burned corpse, bury them upside down.
Also on concentrated land.
Wait, by upside down, do you mean they're on their stomach or like their head is like in the floor first and their feet?
Bury them head first down.
Okay.
Also in holy grounds.
Well, no, you don't want to do that because then that like infects the holy ground.
Yeah, it corrupts it.
Unholy ground?
That will just make it worse.
Yeah, it's just regular ground.
Okay.
You want to very specifically find ground that was never claimed by any religion.
Huh.
That's the hardest part.
Huh.
Exactly.
So nowhere in France or Britain.
No, there's only one graveyard on the planet that has been claimed by any holy place.
Really? What?
So you have to. So like every vampire has to be buried there. So there's a really long waiting list while things decompose.
Yeah, it is.
Smart time.
Mm-hmm.
May we begin?
Let's start this shit.
Well, realistically, we probably can, because he's almost certainly not going to show up this session.
Yes, let's start.
But
He needs to learn. He needs to learn how to show up earlier.
He must be
you
on
have a
time.
point.
He must learn to be on time.
I'm going to start with an overview of the world again, though, and I want him to be present for that, so I don't have to do it multiple times.
Well,
But
too
you've already
fucking
done it
bad.
multiple times.
Exactly.
But more work for me. I'll give him in 4 minutes until 10.
So, you feeling better at all, Ranger?
A little.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm sorry that you pulled something last game.
Well, this place exists, actually. I'll just use this.
Neat.
All right, ladies, let's do this.
I know I'm thing.
Ooh, your thing.
So, lad's body's dropped in a volcano. He's no longer here.
What's the word?
Yes, but no.
Well, no. I was not that. Not that. They are considered.
Hey, look who finally decided to join us!
Spartan would refuse to start without you.
Not refuse. It's well. In this case, I was doing a thing. I'm still doing a thing, actually.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and
It's
from
not.
what I remember is that you did say that I probably wouldn't even appear this session, depending on how fast y'all get through it.
Well, I can almost certainly say you won't. But I want you to be present
Exactly.
for info and things.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just gonna be doing shit in the background. So get on with it. you fucking
I
shithead.
know. I'm typing thing.
You should have this already
Time
typed.
faster!
DK, is your sound working this time?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Okay, I need to check my shit to make sure I have all my work done for today. Well, can do it at least. Remind me again what this party is looking like so far.
I will do that. Okay. The thing has been done.
Before we
We
continue,
will-
though, lad, very important question. Did you complete your sheet as the G sheet, or did you complete it on the fucking roll 20?
I did it on the roll 20.
Okay, good. I was about to scream at you.
Hmm.
Pardon, you may continue.
Yes. You see thing. Person.
What?
No. Is okay. Let me do this then. There you go.
Huh?
Don't worry too much. Oh. Yeah. That's somewhat accurate. Okay. Next. Okay, so let me move you here. We will do once again, for lad's benefit, a general view of the world, where factions are, and the names of the regions, etc. Let me get the mouse.
Get the mouse.
Okay, number one.
Lad, that means shut down split gate and pay attention to roll 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Do you want me to go over the full introduction? I mean, not the fractured dream part, but like the Erd Tree and Golden Order part.
I suppose so.
Well, I mean, that was more so for them than you.
No.
Okay.
A
In that
brief
case,
recap wouldn't be the worst thing, but
Yeah.
okay, then I will abbreviate. All right. Okay. The Erd Tree is the wellspring from which all life flows. The lands between are called as such because they emerged from between the Erd Tree's roots, and the lands between are thus governed by the Erd Tree and Queen Marika, the Eternal. She is the goddess, the maker, the holy mother, etc. And from any corner of the lands between, you can see the Erd Tree on the horizon, as the party has already done.
Okay.
From the frozen north to the Atlas Plateau, to Liurnia of the Lakes, to Limgrave, to the Kali Sahara, to the Weeping Peninsula. It can be seen from any region. We'll do your character actual introduction when you become relevant next session, probably. Maybe.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
Trick,
Yeah, what?
where did your mother study?
I believe she studied in the same place that Rakul studied.
Not quite. Your mother studied at Raya Lucaria Academy, which is in Liurnia. That is the place that trains glintstone sorcerers, glintstone wizards, arcanists of all kinds in the ways of glintstone, which is magic that comes from the stars. Rakul, you're from the Golden Order, which is the most prosperous kingdom of the land between. Specifically, you were born and raised in Lyondell, the capital city. Iger, you are from the frozen north. You grew up in the stronghold city of Seoul, which is the very northern tip of the land between. Okay. Uh, so yes, frozen north, controlled by the Golden Order of Atlas Plateau. You have the Atlas Plateau itself. You have Liurnia of the Lakes to the west, and that is presided over by the Karian dynasty, who is allied with the Golden Order of the Atlas Plateau. You have Limgrave, which is also overseen by the Golden Order. You have the Kali Sahara, which is not exactly overseen by one particular faction. It has cities, 6 of them, I believe it is, that are each ruled by one particular desert prince. And there's the Weeping Peninsula that is also controlled by the Golden Order. Questions?
Nope.
Cool. With that, we're going to start.
I'm still waiting
I'm
for those.
probably not going to remember any of that though, so
Me
I hope
neither.
you have that written down.
Also, I'm still waiting for the other name. I'm waiting for my Discord.
All right, so I told Ranger about that. That is probably not going to happen.
Okay.
Just there's many names. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be okay. There's only a few names that are relevant to you, like Saint Marielle and Vienna, not Vivian, Vienna. But I mean, they'll be repeated multiple times, so you'll be okay.
Okay.
with that, we will start the actual session.
Yay! So we kill Lad's character.
That's my job, not yours.
It'd be too much fun to do so.
King. All right. Kings amongst men, lords amongst kings. They stand at the precipice of eternity, the pinnacle of the world. This moment was of apotheosis, the bridge between impermanence and immutability, if only transient, to be spanned with only a thought. And so it was. In our home, across the fog, the lands between, our seed look back on us and recall an age of... Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is not at all where we left off, unless I'm crazy. This voice comes from the outside. It startles the girl by the fireside, or at least it seems to, if only for a moment. It's not your sanity that should be called into question. It's my own. I've told you of the ambiguous, unstable, volatile, no, fluctuating nature of the dream. My memory, it's difficult to distinguish one part from another. All that is to say, I'm quite lost. Could someone remind me where we left off?
They were at the Grace, resting for the night after getting out the catacombs.
Of course. The girl by the fireside looks to you, Dragon King, and she nods a silent thank you. Of course. We just left off as the six. Wait, no. It's four. No, it's three. Yes, it would be three at this juncture. Just as the three of the constants reached, well, neared the point of convergence. Or, depending on your perspective, it might also be called a point of divergence. The difference is often impossible to tell, even at the best of times. The extent of what I can say with relative certainty is that these points are important, in some way foundational to the dream, in one way or another. This particular crossroads is one that sets the tone for the duration of the voyage. And so it was.
Master Trick, may I ask you something?
What?
Do you have another mask at all?
I gesture to my belt.
Would you mind
He's-
if you allow me to have one? I think it may be useful for me when it comes to it.
I know.
I believe I was beheaded. And I think if we go anywhere, people may recognize me, maybe.
I see, Mr. Rakul, is it?
Yes.
Each of these masks I possess is for a different emotion, for a different state of being I may be in. I require all these masks.
As you wish. It was only a, a request, that's it. We should head to the nearest city, I believe, to
Oh no, it is still, this is the night that you reach the grace, and you just sat down to rest. Tis not the morning.
I thought
It's literally where we left off.
I believe our our friend Mr. What was his name?
Eivor.
Yeah, Eivor.
Ivor.
Ivor was telling the truth about us dying.
You're thinking of the wrong dude.
Nope, that was the guy in white.
Yeah, that was not me.
Yeah,
That's I actually posted his name.
Yeah,
in NPC.
and
Zare.
I'm
Baron.
so I was
In NPCs. B-A-R
yeah
Martin.
yeah. I believe he was correct about us dying. As as he stretches his neck out to show you a single clean circle around the circumference of his throat, going all the way around his neck.
Trick, make a perception check.
Oh, glorious, glorious days. I am
Lovely.
fucking terrible at perception. Oh,
Excellent
great.
sneaky boy, but
Would he get
horrible
advantage?
eyesight.
Would he get advantage since I am pointing him out?
I'm going to say no. Trick, as you're looking in the light of the grace, you see no such mark.
I've no idea what you're talking about, lad.
The last thing I remember is being called upon to the capital. And prior, my lady Vivian went missing also with the Saint Marianne. And I
Let me post the names for you.
so I
Let me just post the names for you. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, no, he is not a names person.
not the strongest one, okay?
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Saint. Vienna and Marielle.
Saint Marielle and Lady. Can you repeat that again? the
Vienna.
V
Vienna.
and Lady Vienna went missing a couple of days prior me getting called to the capital. And if my hypothesis correct, they might more or less think I would be best candidate of their killer if they are dead. But I don't know what's going on. But I believe he was right about us all being dead. So I would ask you all to maybe search yourselves for any scars that you don't ever remember getting.
Look, lad, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I see no scar on you. And to be fair, I the life I grew up with, having a scar I don't know how I got isn't exactly something alien to me.
And I bet the same is for you, Ivor.
You can see Ivor just kind of sitting by himself. And going to say, new scars aren't exactly strange.
How about fatal scars?
If you're still here, then it wasn't fatal.
I would think maybe. Well, I don't think nothing's gonna mess with us when we're around the grace. At least, I think it's best for us to sleep and recuperate our strengths. In the morning, we'll head to the nearest city. With with my calculations, should be to the northwest, maybe. If I'm correct, I know exactly where we are.
Yes. You estimate you are somewhere currently southwest Limgrave.
Yes, we are southwest from Lingrave, so we'll maybe make there maybe next morning. Maybe.
Oh no, no, absolutely not. It's well, make. I suppose history would be most accurate.
History. Okay, why didn't that? Oh, it's rolled now. 18. Ooh, pretty good.
History. So, as you recall, though you've never actually been to Limgrave yourself, and the most you've traveled is to just the extent of the Atlas Plateau on various missions, or more so jobs would be the word, given to you. You do know that Limgrave is a poor region. They don't have cities, they have city, singular. Just the one that surrounds Castle Stormvale, which is here.
We can maybe make.
Apart from that, it is just villages.
We could probably make our way to the castle. There should be some villages on the way there. Probably find some work there, gain some coin, and try to get some actually outfits.
Well, if we're looking for a coin, my fingers are quite sticky. If we're looking for that kind of thing.
I can just make materials, little trinket objects that could maybe sell for a good penny. But besides that, I think for the time being, we can figure that out in the morning. We need our rest. You and me, Trek, we are on death, on the verge of death, mostly. Am I wrong?
I could definitely use a good night's rest.
Yes, and in the morning, I really like to figure out what this red liquid I poured down your throat actually is.
Wait, you poured red liquid down my throat without asking.
You were unconscious. I thought it was a health potion based on its coloration and its texture, but I think I was wrong.
Uh, Hopefully we can find somebody who can tell us what's up with it.
Just give me time. I can figure out on my own. As he begins to, best he can, make a little bed for himself, made of twigs
All right.
and leaves.
You can do so easily enough. Just like find a gathering of fallen leaves. Actually, do make a survival. Actually, or whoever wants to can.
Anyone good at survival?
Whoever's gonna roll it.
I think Ivor should be. I'm definitely not good at survival.
Sure, it's public. 9.
Hmm.
Can I assist with that?
Well, you can assist for the gathering of leaves. You can't assist with the other part.
Okay. 6. Oh yeah, I got 69.
Yes, you did.
Nice.
Yeah,
I found a very sexy piece of branch.
it's very curvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing extra. You do get your leaves and your branches and make a makeshift patch of
Beds.
land to sleep on.
Needs to be a little somewhat comfy to sleep. As Rakula goes to sleep.
Right.
But no more. He falls asleep with his hand around where he knows that scar is.
Yes. And so you all settle around the grace and close your eyes, waiting for sleep to take you. It's been a hectic day. A few thoughts go through your mind. Avare what he said. Risen from the dead, apparently. Fated to die in obscurity. It's impossible. It's an obvious lie. The man was clearly a charlatan. And yet, the Mhm.
Since you mentioned charlatan,
yes.
Trick would like to use insight to see like if there are any charlatan tricks that he would recognize is in this strange white robed man's words.
It's a little late for that.
Yeah, a
but,
little late
I
for
mean,
that.
I suppose you can roll insight now. Just thinking back on the conversation.
Wouldn't I have? Would I have disadvantage because I'm thinking back on it?
Yes, I'd say so.
Yeah, but it's not your game, is it?
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't have disadvantage. There's just a limit to what you can get.
13.
13's not bad. Okay. Scrolling up. Okay, so Vare with his white mask, he was definitely a character. His instructions led you to the grace at the very least, so that means that he was telling the truth in that at the very least. Whether that means he was telling the truth about the rest of what he said, you're uncertain. So that's what you would naturally assume. Choice is yours, though. Apart from that, he didn't really come off as a charlatan or a bard to you. Came off more as an artisan, someone who's trained in the arts. Particularly, you noticed him painting, though none of you ever got a really good look at what it was he was painting. Yeah, he didn't come off as like a charlatan. Well, he did come off as a charlatan. Didn't come off as like a trained artisan or
Bro,
trained
make your
charlatan.
fucking mind.
So,
Make up your
okay, let
damn
me clarify.
mind, a little bitch.
He did not come off as a trained charlatan. He came off more as just someone who is tricksy by nature, rather than it being like an occupation, like a bard or a rogue, etc.
Got it.
Rakul their night takes what the man had told him and give them the weight as it is needed. He ponders about it and wonders it, and he believes what he has said, heard.
Make a perception, everyone.
Ooh, 12.
A trick,
Yes, sir.
perception.
Alrighty. Fuck. Blind as a badger.
Not blind. Trick, you're drifting off. Not quite taken by sleep, but not quite aware of your surroundings. Rakul and either, you're still in the contemplating stage, and as such, you're still a little bit aware, at the very least, of what's happening around you. Off to the right, just beyond the light of the grace, you hear the rustling of grass or leaves.
Rakul doesn't get up, but holds his hammer tightly. Try to see where it's coming from.
Ivor would like to do a stealth to basically just like kind of like look around as if he's stretching, but is like pretending to not be looking, but is actually looking.
You can do so.
So
See if I might catch a better glimpse.
And you, Rakul,
Uh,
you were just. What were you doing?
I pretty much do that, but pretend to be asleep.
You can do deception.
Yeesh, I am not that good at deception. But okay, lay lock, please.
Deception or performance.
Deception. 3.
Mhm. All right. So, you, Ivor, what you notice first of all is uh, next to you, Rakul, his snoring suddenly increases, like becoming exaggerated. Like, I'm definitely asleep. And uh, keeping that in mind, as you look off towards the direction that the wrestling's coming from, uh, beyond the light of the grace, you do see, or at least you think you saw, a figure just for an instant. But when your eyes kind of clear and adjust to the light, you don't see anything. And the wrestling ceases.
I'm gonna like. Am I like next to Rakul?
I imagine that you're all like, kind of like in a vague circle around the grace, so yeah.
All right. I'm going to like dig my elbow into him
Ow.
and say, "You're not exactly subtle."
Did you get who it was?
Saw a glimpse of something, but for now it's gone. Hopefully.
You take the first shift. I'll take the second shift. Okay.
Fine.
A shift won't be necessary. The
Do I
voice comes from behind you, the
Raku
opposite direction from where the wrestling was.
Raku stands up with hammer at hand.
Trick, at this point, Trick, you do also like hear commotion to stir you like to your senses.
Who? What do we see?
Hey, what? Hey, what's going on, lads?
What do we see?
So, you turning on your heel, standing immediately, you obviously see the source of the voice, and impossibly, they stand only a few feet on the other side of the grace from you, somehow having approached this close without you noticing. They wear a long, dark cloak with the hood up, reaching all the way down to the base of their boots.
What can we tell about the figure at all?
The figure, which cloaked entirely by this dark cloak, it's difficult to tell much. It's clasped at the front, so you can't really see much of their torso. They are diminutive in stature, shorter than even Trick by an inch or two.
Can we tell male or female?
Male or female, immediately you're uncertain, or you're leaning towards female based on the height.
Fair maiden, wouldn't you please introduce yourself? In mind introducing yourself, milady?
And Ivor, what are you doing?
I've got my hand axe out. I'm not doing a threatening motion yet, but I just have it in hand, ready to do something in case anything happens.
Understood. And Trick, just as you're stirring to your senses, you do also notice this figure that has approached from the darkness.
I will scramble to my feet and draw my bow, knock an arrow, and just pull it back.
Trick, I don't believe that's necessary for the moment.
No, it's not. Greetings, travelers from beyond the fog. You may be still, I mean you no harm. And
Am I just supposed to believe that?
I believe we should take. It's not like we can. Trick, I believe a little faith can go a long way.
and they part their the cloak, raising their hands flat in surrender. And at that, you can see just the tiniest bit of fair skin from their hands before it disappears into their cloak.
Can I tell if
Fair. We're talking like very
Uh,
light skinned, not like chalk white like mine.
Correct. It is a natural fair.
Well, fuck you.
I mean, you said chalk. You're the one who said chalk white.
I am the one that said chalk white.
At this moment, Rakul is seeing how tensions are a little high. He is gonna walk up to the person. Weapon left at his bedside. In a good faith.
Mhm. Slowly, the figure reaches their hands to their hood, going to lower it.
And when their heads go to their hood, Trek is going to pull back the bow just a little bit more to give a little extra power, and just look at them with very high skepticism.
Rakul is in your making sure he be in your line of sight, be in your shot. I am Rakul Lawburn. May I know your name, milady?
Indeed, I am Melina. I've come to offer you an accord.
Marina. May we know
Melina. I'll type it.
Sorry.
Melina.
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 Don't get me mixed up.
You already mixed yourself up. You yourself said merda.
Continuing to reach their hands toward their hood, they say, "You are dazed, confused, and scared, I imagine. I must apologize for failing to arrive sooner."
It's not your fault. It's not like you put end to our lives.
Why should you have arrived sooner then? And I'm just going to narrow my eyes. Did you know we were coming?
Well, I knew that you would be raised at one point or another. Exactly when, I was uncertain.
Hmm.
This, they will now fully lower the hood, trying to ease your suspicions. As they do so, the figure is indeed revealed to you as a woman, as the voice suggests. 20 seasons of age at the most, potentially younger. A woman, Melina, as she says her name is. She is a brunette with amber eyes and light brown hair that almost takes on a pink hue in the radiant light of the grace. It's a very odd thing for a woman to be alone in the woods, especially for one so young and of obvious beauty.
Rakul will try to be stiffer, like more gentlemanlike. Um, wouldn't you? You must be been traveling for a while now. Why don't you come sit down over here with us? We tried our best to make it as comfortable as we could.
Of course, Tarnished. Though I would appreciate it if your friend would lower his bow.
Trek, will you please lower your weapon again? Will not aim your weapon at a fair maiden.
Trek is gonna roll his eyes and go, "Fine, I'll keep my eye on you. Not many young women like yourselves go wandering around the woods alone.
Well, of that, I'm sure you're doubtless correct. She will follow, I suppose, you, Rakul, to the grace and
In the
just
comfy area.
fold her dress and like sit on her knees.
Yeah. Raku will sit down too.
Forgive me for being so hasty, but I would like to cut to the chase.
Of course.
Have you heard of the Finger Maidens?
History?
Finger maidens, aren't those, isn't that the name of the attendant to Saint Mariel?
No. So Vienna, she was Saint Mariel's personal handmaiden. Well, not quite the same.
Uh, Vienna was the somewhat similar to that, to the Saint Mariel.
I'm I must apologize. I'm not familiar. Vienna?
Um, her the prodigy and understudy of the saint. I know her well.
She would be, I suppose, a high maiden then, but not quite the same.
Mm.
Finger maidens serve the two fingers, offering guidance and aid to the Tarnished in search of the Elden Ring.
What is the Elden Ring?
Tarnished. There's that word again.
Well, that's what you're called. You are tarnished, not quite broken, but not quite a perfect gold either. You have great potential, though, thus tarnished.
Hmm. What?
The only thing I have potential for is destruction. And I doubt that's what you mean.
Destruction and creation are a side of two coins. You cannot have creation without destruction, or destruction without creation.
And indeed, actually, Rakul, you say that your thoughts are drawn to the twin prodigies themselves, Marcellus, the warrior, and Mariel, the creator, the architect. Kind of parallel in that way that you were not even aware. But in response to you, Ivor, uh, Melina looks to you and says, well, destruction itself is not altogether a bad thing, given that, well, provided that what you're destroying has merit.
A weapon can be used many ways for death and destruction, or creation and protection.
Um, Indeed. As I was saying, the finger maidens serve the two fingers. Um, but you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I myself, I myself am no maiden of the two fingers, but even still, I can play the role of such, turning rune fragments into strength.
Rune fragments. What are you on about?
So, indeed, I can see you've gathered quite a few already.
Excuse you?
Probably from the undead we killed in the catacombs. Most likely, am I wrong?
Ah, yes, those who live in death. I suppose even they would contain rune fragments.
Would you mind explaining to me what the fuck a rune fragment is?
Okay, all right. I can see that you are ignorant. No fault of your own.
You'll,
Uh,
you'll just see Trek like flick up his ring finger or at her.
yes.
I believe it's more tactful to maybe be more polite to the lady. Trek.
I was taught to steal and trick people.
Um, well, I'm no expert on the subject matter, but I will tell what I can. Uh, the Elden Ring, as it has been explained to me, is the covenant of God. It is that which unites the goddess Queen Marika and the holy Erd Tree. It is the bond. At one point or another, the Elden Ring was shattered, its pieces scattered across the land. Uh, the fragments have been imbued in every living soul. Well, living, unliving. It's it's not so definite, but those rune fragments can in turn be uh, used to give you strength by a maiden or one trained as such.
Give us strength how?
Uh,
How can one claim souls of those who live in death or life and use those to strengthen one's own body?
not souls, though that I am much more familiar with. Uh, Mine is more of a combination of the two. But in absorbing rune fragments, just as absorbing souls, it bolsters your own.
Hmm. Intriguing. So much I didn't know about.
Uh, so you're interested in receiving my aid then?
Yes, yes, I am.
Especially if it'll help me slit the throat of my mother's killer.
What do you get out of this? No one does something like this for free or out of the kindness of your heart.
You underestimate people's kindness. You
No,
know,
no, he's got a point. He's got a point.
Uh, yes, I'm afraid he does, but my cost is simple. In return for my aid, you need only take me with you to the Atlas Plateau, the foot of the Erd Tree.
I'm gonna roll in insight.
yeah, I think I'll also roll insight.
Go ahead.
19.
Okay. Ivor, you're still kind of disoriented. Your mental faculties are not quite there. You don't really get too much.
Mm-hmm.
Rakul, looking at her, as she says, well, she says she only wishes for you to take her with you to the Atlas Plateau. And you can tell that's what she desires, but she seems uncertain. She's not lying to you, but her asking for you to take you her asking for you to take her to the Atlas Plateau. There's something more to it than that. Some greater purpose.
May I ask what you hope to find at the plateau?
I wish to find my purpose. I've I've wandered the lands between for a time that I can't really recall. I search for the reason I yet live.
Hearing that, Rakul remembers those words he told himself many, many times throughout his childhood. I will help you. I will escort you to the plateau.
And you, she says, looking to Ivor, Are you in agreement as well? Is there anything I can do to ease your concerns?
Sent you a message. Does Ivor know about like the Atlas Plateau, like kind of like what it is and why she would actually need someone to take her there, given that she was apparently able to just find us in the middle of the woods, like the day we come out?
Oh yes, I was not looking at the message. I was looking at. I was not looking at Roll20. I was looking at the document. So,
Mm-hmm.
make a history.
All right.
Ooh, okay. I see. All right.
So a total of 19 because I have a -1.
Yeah. Okay. So, getting to oh, ask your question again so I can answer specifically.
Basically, does Ivor know about the Atlas Plateau, like what it is, and would he know why she would need like people to like bring her there or escort there, especially given that she's apparently capable enough to find 3 random people in the middle of the woods the day they apparently wake up from like a tomb.
All right. So, first of all, your knowledge of the Atlas Plateau. You know obviously that it is the center of power for the Golden Order, home to the Erd Tree, uh, where Queen Marika rules over the land between as the God Queen.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of why someone would need you to take them there personally, you've heard of things called the Grand Lifts. There are 2 of them. There's one that links the Atlas Plateau and the frozen north, and there's one that links the Atlas Plateau and Liurnia.
Okay.
So, thing to point out: the frozen north cannot be reached without going through the Grand Lift that connects it to the Atlas Plateau. There's no other way to get from the north to the other lands.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Liurnia and the Atlas Plateau. It's not possible to go from one to the other without taking a Grand Lift.
Okay.
So you, being from the north, you would know specifically that people from the north generally didn't or couldn't actually leave. It's pretty much only traders that go back and forth. Traders and like envoys of the Golden Order.
Mm-hmm.
Like in your youth, they would send like clergymen to educate the ignorant populace on the Golden Order's ways, etc. That is what you would know. That's what you would think might be the only reason. And if the grand list between the Atlas Plateau and Liurnia is the same, it's likely difficult to access.
And I'm going to say, so you're having difficulty getting onto the Grand Lift then.
Well, in a manner of speaking, yes.
You're this finger maiden,
I am no finger maiden.
or oh, I thought she said she was,
No.
or
She
something
said,
similar.
she said, that, that I myself am no maiden of the 2 fingers, but even still I can play the role of such.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to, if you can play the role of one of these maidens, why exactly, or how exactly able to play the role of one of these so-called maidens, what would stop you from sneaking in?
You mean sneaking into the Grand Place?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is worrisome to share this with a stranger, but my strength wanes. It has become difficult to govern my own movement.
Can I do either a perception or an insight? Basically, see if it looks like she's like holding herself like up, seems like she's having difficulty standing or anything like that.
Cairo medicine?
You can roll medicine. Actually, you can roll both.
That one.
I see.
So perception, insight.
Okay. With your medicine, you don't get too much. Or you get something, but not exactly something that's relevant to what you're looking for.
You get her 3 sizes.
So looking at her, you're drawn to her eye. As I did send a picture, so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that her left eye is closed. She hasn't opened it once during this entire encounter. And there's this strange, almost scar alongside it. That's what you're kind of captivated by.
He tries not to talk about it. It's probably a touchy subject for her.
Ivor,
Mm-hmm.
you looking at her, you don't really see any sign that she's like having any kind of difficulties physically. Uh, Same thing with your insight. I suppose the one thing that you might notice is her hands that she has kind of clasped in her lap. You can see that there are these horrible scars on them.
All right. And like I assume I also noticed the eye.
Yes. Well, you've all noticed the eye.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'll copy link and I'll put it into the roll 20. It should have worked. Anyways, uh, looking at her, I would say you certainly seem to have been through an ordeal. I say very obviously meant referring to her eye and hands.
And yet somehow I still live.
Yes. But how exactly are we supposed to? You say you want to figure out why you still live.
I'll be right back.
Repeat that, Ranger.
You said you wish to figure out why you still live.
Indeed.
Well, there's if I will not agree to anything for the moment, but if what you say is true and you are able to help us, then bringing you through that lip after all, I at the very least need to get back to the get back to the north, and that means going through one anyways.
Through two.
Um,
Or through two.
You were saying, Dragon King?
if I have a question, you can even answer it, would you know on how our fates ended, how we died at all?
I can see it rather clearly. You were beheaded.
Of course.
You turning to Ivor. You were burned alive. You turning to Trick. You were crystallized and shattered.
Can I roll a religion check? That sounds like a gold aura for Ivor, or the clergyman's motto. Burn the heretic.
Not really. It's difficult to really say one way or the other.
So my hypothesis was correct. I was beheaded.
Indeed, it was a clean strike.
Now all I need to find out is the reason.
Very well then. We all have an accord.
You have my word. I will make sure you are escorted to the plateau.
I thank you. And you, Trick, you're in favor as well.
All right, gents, I'm back.
You weren't even here.
She,
They just discussed how you died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't quite say anything about that.
Okay, yeah.
Idiot.
Well then, going
I'm
back
not an idiot
a
because I
bit.
wasn't fucking here.
You could
Going
have
back a
said
bit.
something.
I did. I said I'll be right back.
He did.
That's fine. So going back a bit, you beheaded, you burned alive, turned to you and said, you were crystallized entirely and then shattered.
Same way they killed my mother.
Um,
Seems I'm dealing with a glintstone sorcerer.
I am not familiar with glintstone sorcery, though I will do whatever I can to aid you, as is my role, I suppose, as your temporary, at the very least, maiden.
Would you know on uh, this red liquid, this flask with red liquid in it that was found in front of my, I guess, castic?
Uh, I see you've made use of it.
I tried to bring Mr. Trick back up after he was slain.
Well, that would be the issue. I made it to correspond with your soul, not his. He has his own.
Ah.
So what would happen if I
So-
drank mine?
Well, it would function as a regular healing potion, of course.
Huh, so my hypothesis was correct about it being a healing potion.
Yeah, you just forgot a detail.
Wait. If so, does that mean a regular healing potion would no longer work on us as we are? You had to specialize it.
No. Well, I I believe they would work, though I'm not familiar with that kind of craftsmanship, or that kind of alchemy. For me to make three of them and the others, I had to use a different means.
Hmm. You must have traveled a long way. I think it's best for us all to get some rest for the night.
Very well. Then our accord is settled.
Hold
Um,
on.
mhm.
Ivor would say, but I would like at least some proof of your claims first.
uh, well, you don't have quite enough runes or souls for me to put them towards any meaningful effort. But what I suppose I can do, if you'll hand me that vial,
Um, Rekul does hand over his flask.
like, she essentially takes it from you and just cups it in her hand. And looking at it, it slowly, from the bottom to the top, refills with that red crimson liquid. I can do so for each of them once per day, or specifically, it will be at nightfall or in the morning. And she'll hand it back to you. I'm afraid I cannot quite convert your runes of souls. Forgive me.
It, it is. It's okay.
Mm. And I'm going to look over to Rakul and I'm going to ask, you said you are at least somewhat familiar with
Um,
potions. Is
somewhat.
that was that how you make them, or you are aware of them?
I'm aware of them. I saw the saints saints specialty. That was more or less the saint's specialty. Mine was more in constructs and gears. But I have dabbled in a few potion making, but it's not my honestly my best expertise.
You can make an arcana for maybe something.
Okay. Ew, 20, pretty good roll.
20 is very good. So, a potion that can seemingly without effort be refilled. That is unheard of. So, when it comes to the Saint Mariel, nothing's really out of the question. But for this strange woman, Melina, your new apparent maiden, you wouldn't think her capable of it. It's very high, and as you noticed before, Fey craftsmanship, as opposed to the Orthodox.
He thinks for a bit. He looks at it, inspects his texture, look through. This is Fey and interesting. Honestly, I never being able to refuel magic potions is. I haven't heard anything like this or never saw it. It is pretty astounding, honestly.
Well, thank you. If I'm being honest, I haven't quite heard of it myself. It's something that I have. She says, just kind of tapping her temple. Just one of the few things that still lingers.
I will admit you have an innate talent for these, at least.
You flatter me,
Oh,
but I'm sure you're all tired.
well, I know at least Trickus after being slain twice in a row.
Oh, if I've died, well, if I was killed before, that'll make it 3 times.
You were
And I'm,
not
and I'm,
slain.
and I'm gonna say moron in Sylvan.
Well, that's rather uncalled for, Trick, but I do understand.
And I will turn to her and say, "You speak Sylvan."
It seems so.
Huh.
I say you speak Sylvan in Sylvan, by the way.
Yeah, I say, huh.
She doesn't respond in Sylvan, but she does in common say it seems so.
Huh. Now that's interesting. I don't believe I recall that language.
It's not a language from this plane, lad.
Hmm.
Well, okay.
Hmm?
So Feywild does not quite
Okay.
exist. They have a very long, convoluted history that you
Okay.
yourself are not entirely aware of.
So would you say that Sylvan is an ancient language that is the precursor to Elven?
That's accurate.
So it's the
So,
primal
then,
Elven.
so that instead of saying it's not from this plane, they'll say it's not from this time.
Well, I guess for the time being, I think I believe we should get some rest.
Indeed.
If you want, I can
I can.
maybe set you up your own shelter, milady.
Well, that will not be necessary. And at that, she's going to stand. And as she does, and her gaze rests upon you, you all just feel your eyes drooping. I can imagine you've had quite a long day. I will take watch in your stead.
If you insist, milady.
I'm going to
And
struggle and stay awake.
I am not. I'm going to do the exact opposite.
well, you can
Try.
make a Constitution save with disadvantage.
Woohoo!
14.
Nessie the Road has a good con.
You can do the same trick if you want to.
I will not. For the reason is, I am at 1 HP. I am fucking exhausted.
Very well.
Loon is willingly going to sleep. I mean, not Loon, Rakul.
Yes. Let me find my place again. Okay, so even you, as you struggle to stay awake, Ivor, through closed, half open eyelids, you see her radiant figure illuminated in the light of the grace. She says, "In the morning when you awake, there is a village to the west. There you may go and get your bearings, and may call upon me by grace to turn runes into your strength." And with that, you collapse to unconsciousness. Okay. All of you make a charisma check.
Ooh, I'm kind of good at those.
Check or save?
Check.
Oh, I still had it on disadvantage, but that is a natural 20.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
7.
Alrighty.
We're all fucking terrible at this.
Hey, I rolled really good. I got a nat 20.
Yes, you did. I will make a Constitution save with advantage.
Ooh, nice. Advantage 22.
Alright.
Everything's coming up, Ivor.
Okay. During the night, as you all drift off into your dreamless sleep, no dreams this night. The chill of the night does take you as time passes. The radiance of the grace fades. You, however, as you shiver in the night, you feel the cold come for you. Though it's the familiar cold. The cold that is somehow almost warm. It settles on you, comforts you, and your maximum hit points increase by 1.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you too, DM.
If you didn't roll a natural 1, it might be you.
So what does Trick get for a nat 1?
You get no things.
Oh, fuck you. Not you, DM. Fucking Dragon King for mocking me.
Mark it somewhere. Take note of that you have it. Ranger.
I am.
Cool. I mean, like separate
mean,
from
Yes,
like
I have.
What?
like note. Okay,
It's
gotcha.
it's in a note thing.
What's completely bullshit about this is that I am the only one with a charisma bonus. The rest of you have a
That's-
fucking negative. This is horseshit.
That's rough. That's definitely rough.
I didn't make him
That's
to
rough,
The other way the dice go.
wait until Lag gets here for once.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to have all of the charisma.
Yeah, well, everyone here but me is an idiot.
All right.
I'm half idiot. Not complete idiot, but at least half an idiot.
3 will be a trick. So trick.
Oh,
As you're stirring to consciousness,
no.
You
you feel just this scratching like on your face. It's like this scratching. It's annoying. You want to sleep.
mine.
Can I move?
You can.
I'm going to sit up and just take my mask off.
All right, you can do it so easily enough. And
Yes.
opening your eyes, the vulture very quickly takes off, taking to the skies, flying away.
Fucking
With like a squawk. Tis the morning. See the sun rising on the horizon.
Can I try to shoot it?
Go ahead.
I want to shoot this fucking vulture down. This thing's breakfast.
Make an attack roll. Very good.
Do I get sneak attack with this or no? I don't think I do. No.
No, but it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, it's quite dead. As the vulture takes off, sad that it's the corpse it once thought dead is not in fact dead. You angrily take your bow, nock an arrow, and as the little bird thinks that it's getting away, nock perfect angle, let it rip. It soars through the air and pierces right through its gullet. It falls like a heap.
Fucking dick. And I'll just sling my bow over my shoulder, go over, and collect their breakfast.
And as he gets up, you all gradually begin to stir. And yes.
Oh.
And with that, I'm putting on my happy mask.
When Reku gets up, he's deaf. I always dislike not sleeping in the bed.
And I were just going to like softly go like scoff a little bit and go scoff.
It's not so bad after your stretch.
Trust me, I have slept on the ground more times than you think I have.
And I probably slept on the ground more times than you have years to your name.
You'd be
I would
surprised.
say then you have seasons to your name.
You would be surprised. Honestly.
And as I like lift up the vulture I just shot, plus bears make for a very cuddly pillow.
Well,
Anyway, breakfast anyone?
we don't have a fire to cook it with. I don't believe none of us have.
Just
I
gather.
grabbed firewood last night.
Yeah, but not enough.
DM.
You could have gathered firewood. Would you have used it with the radiance of the grace warming you?
I didn't.
Wasn't there already a fire?
No.
I gathered it more out of habit than anything else, and I went looking for food, but only found berries and stuff. So I wouldn't
Yes,
have anything
then
to do it.
correct. So off to the side there is a pile of firewood. Though, as you all think of it, looking to the center of the makeshift campsite, the point of Lost Grace, as it was called, is nowhere to be seen.
Let's say the grace.
Let's take about an hour or two to wake up and stretch, and we'll get the fire going. Eivor, you're the survival guy, and I'll just toss him the corpse of the bird.
While it's cooking, sorry.
I'll pluck it.
And I'll set up a fireplace, and I'll use prestidigitation to light the campfire.
Cool will bring out the compass he found in his bag to figure out which direction we were told to go about town.
Okay, so you lighting the fire, it's easy enough. You just summon a little fleck of red glintstone and shatter it, and it combusts the fire.
Ooh, fancy.
You had the strangest dream last night. Cool. There was this girl. You remember the last thing that she was saying to you was that there was a village to the west.
Like it felt more of a dream than actually reality.
That's one way of putting it, yes.
While he's friend, companions, do you remember seeing a kind of beautiful woman last night?
Do we?
You do. It's kind of ethereal. It's almost like a dream in some sense, especially when looking around. She's obviously not been here.
Are you psychic? I heard some gift can do that.
Would she even know what a gift is? I think we discussed.
No, you would know what a gith is. Gith are essentially just a type of elf.
Yep, and
wait.
I like to think that I have like a little more detail than general knowledge on some people because I know more stories and legends. Being a circus kid.
It just not. I remember her telling us a village to the west.
Stranger things have happened, lad. So we should head there after breakfast.
Agreed. We probably can eat on our way there.
On another note, Ivor, no question for you. I remember yesterday when I woke up in the tomb, you almost killed me because you saw me changing. Why is that?
I'm gonna look to him and say, I don't like things that do that.
Speaking of that, what are you exactly, Trick? As he's not even looking, he's more looking at the compass.
Well, since Mr. Musselman over here has already seen you do it. I don't see why not. Why I shouldn't be able to show you both.
Well, I saw your face when I pulled your mask off to feed you the liquid.
Well, I guess that would be true. I'll pull my mask off and I will. Hang on. I have an image. Hang on. Please refer to Spartan General. You will see a young changeling. Every feature of me pale white. And I will say, I come from a species called changelings, or at least half my blood is. Because we have the innate ability to change our skin as we see fit. Though it does not change our physical abilities, we can appear as anyone we wish, of any race, so long as we're about the same size and the
Interesting.
same general limb arrangements. As I'll shift my face to match yours, Rakul.
And you see Ivor like you probably notice Ivor like grits his teeth as you change.
That's a very useful ability, honestly.
I shift it back and I put my mask back on. Oh, yes, it is. It's gotten me out of a few pinches when I was younger.
Yes, as he's walking away, his compass stays midair next to him. I like you, but I have innate magical abilities. I have, since birth, I've been able to more or less conjure up an invisible magic hand to hold items for me.
Mage hand.
Yes, but I know that from birth.
My mother was a glintstone sorceress.
Would I know what a glintstone sorceress is?
You definitely would at least have knowledge of it.
She trained in a very highest prestigious school. The name usually escapes me.
I believe maybe once in a while, went there to maybe work on some stuff for them.
Oh no, you would not have. Remember, you are local to the Atlas Plateau.
Fair enough. Look at my say.
You went to science school. You wouldn't have gone to an arcane school.
Sir, my mistake. Yes, I believe I have read up on the college once, a few times.
She told me everything I know about magic, and I'm just trying to honor her memory, as well as my father's.
When you speak of like mothers, fathers, Recul seems a little cold when you talk about that. Well, we better move on now. We we are
Before we go,
we might don't want
let,
to lose daylight.
well, first we go to have breakfast. Most important meal of the day.
We can just hand wave that, can't we, Spartan?
If you guys want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Choice is yours.
we'll just roleplay hand waving and just say it happened.
Yeah.
But during breakfast, I would like to roll an insight check and try and see if I can discern why Ivor might not like my shifting ability.
You can. It will be difficult, well, to get specifics without actually asking.
I did ask. He just says he doesn't like it.
Okay, so, well, with a 6, with a 6. Well, the most obvious comparison you can make is.
He's racist.
Oh no.
Racist!
Well, you saw in the catacombs that he himself has some kind of shifting ability as an omen. It's probably tied to that in some way or another, but you're not sure.
As we're walking, I'll go up to Eivor again and say, "Look, Ivor, I don't mean to pry, but may I?" Okay, but this whole shifting thing, would it have to be something from where you're from? Like they shun you for it.
All right. Being confronted directly over it, Ivor would look at you and roll me another insight.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll insight too.
Fucking goddamn it!
I'm gonna roll insight too on this conversation as I'm listening. Nat 20.
Neat.
So,
I'm
Rakul,
not looking at you.
what are you trying to discern, Rakul?
Like if the tension is getting high, like if poking,
Yes.
more or less poking the bear.
Yes.
Trick,
Well, there you have your answer.
Trick. I suggest we drop the subject on that.
Before that, Ivor's like looking directly at you, and you can very easily see just raw anger in his eyes.
Cool.
Seems to be all that there is.
Miss,
I'm just gonna
And
put up my
I'm going to
hands.
say,
Okay, sorry.
my past is my business. Don't cry where you're not wanted.
I'm just gonna put up my hands and go, "All right, big man. I just don't want you to not like me because of something that I was gifted as a child."
Mr. Trick, I would also agree with Mr. Ivor. Some people do not enjoy showing people or telling others who they just met about who they are.
I just wish to inquire. That's all.
Some wounds or some things are a touchy subject for most. And I'd rather not see him ripping your head off because of an inquiry.
Well then, for pissing you off, Ivor, for my crying, let me make it up to you. When we get to town and we acquire some gold, if we should find a tavern, I'll treat you to a round of alcohol.
And I'm just gonna still like looking at you just very intensely, and I'm not going to acknowledge it.
Just nothing. Just nothing.
I'm just gonna keep walking, or like start walking towards the west.
And he's very difficult to read.
Not really, Trick. It just he's pretty more very straightforward on most things. What I can tell.
That's fair. And with that, I'm going to switch out my heavy mask to my neutral mask.
Alright. You continue on your journey.
Making sure to follow my compass.
Yes. As you continue along, of course, occasionally glancing to see the Erd tree in all its glory to the northeast. You just sort of think back on the events of the previous night, whether that was truth or a figment.
I make sure to relook at my flask.
Oh, your flask. Well, your flask is full.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
As you're examining your flask, though, everyone make a perception check.
I'll be back.
Have I rolled above a 10 today that wasn't
12.
an attack roll?
Yeah, no, that's rough. That is
Perception?
Yeah. Nat 20!
correct.
We're rolling nat 20s like it's no tomorrow.
No, I'm rolling nat 20s like there's no tomorrow.
Hey, I always.
Give me back my luck, fucker!
Hey, I've been rolling nat 20s too.
All right. You, Ivor, as you're all walking along, just journeying westward, through the tree line, you catch just this glint off in the distance. Perhaps, what is this? 40, maybe 50 feet ahead. Through the tree line, there's just, as you pass the trees, you see this glint of light reflected back at you. And as you kind of hone in on it, you see that that is armor, golden armor.
It's what?
Golden armor.
Golden armor,
Golden
worn by an imposing figure riding atop a horse.
I'm going to grab Raquel
Raquel.
Rakul and push us off the side of the road and like cover his mouth as I try and hide, hoping that
What do
Trick
you mean?
can do it on his own, as I trust him to do it on his own.
Blind as a fucking badger, bud.
Well, yeah, but I'm assuming you can very easily notice me suddenly grab him and hide off the.
Oh, okay, you're going like that. Okay.
Yeah.
DM, would I react in time?
I would say you can make. Yeah, I would say yes. Okay, so yes. As you
Finally, a
pull
roll above
Ra-
10.
as you pull Rakul, the two of you going off to one side, Trick going off to the other side, hiding behind the trees.
Almost kind of use presentation like smoke bomb. No.
Here.
I don't do that, by the way, DM, because that's gonna cause a distraction, which we don't want.
That's you. There you are. There you go. Allow me to move you to you. Cresting the top of this hill, as your attention is now drawn to it, you all see the figure encased in golden armor, riding atop their glorious golden steed. Well, not golden steed, but steed adorned in golden armor as well. I can put that's the picture. Ooh, not in NPCs. You go in other. You see the figure cresting the top of the hill, just gliding in this direction.
Rakul eyed wide open, seeing the Golden Dawn, the golden armor. Knowing who he knows who they are, right?
You're very familiar with who this is. This is a tree sentinel, which is one of the horsemen of the Golden Armor, the Golden Order.
Rakul like motion to take your mouth off him, your hand off his mouth.
How do you do so?
Like just point it at him, your hand.
I honestly don't quite trust you to not be loud, but I'm gonna roll a d100. If it's above, if it's above a 40, I'll let go. A little bit better than half.
Yep.
Yep. I'll let go.
Why are we hiding? They don't you see who it is? Maybe he can help us. He's supposed to protect the land, the people.
There's a lot of supposed tos in there. This is a land where people come back from the dead, where we're apparently tarnished, where there's a million and one things that are new and strange. We have no idea what's happening. If you want to go out there and talk to it, be my guest.
Can I roll sense motive on the horseman?
You can roll insight, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really get too much. You obviously can't really see facial features, but I mean, he just, for the most part, seems like he's patrolling. As you're very aware, tree sentinels primarily, at least in the Atlas Plateau, they primarily dealt with like bandits on the outskirts.
Did I have a good interactions with them when throughout my life, or no?
Well, no, but that's because, as you recall, your father and your family in general, you have a history of serving as overseers for the guard. Tree sentinels are one segment of the guard, and you being a bastard son, they didn't look highly upon you. So while they were an honorable order, they were kind of prejudiced toward you for a separate reason.
For my heritage?
Correct. Well, yes.
So be it. I think maybe we should quietly move forward. Maybe make sure we go around him. He's gonna be here for a while. They usually stay in one area for a few hours and then maybe a whole day.
And Ivor will start moving.
I will see them move and move with them.
Rakul, try his best. Be quiet.
All right.
I'm very
Okay.
specifically trying to be a bit away from Rakul.
Mm-hmm. You can all make whoever hasn't made a stealth check can make a stealth
Be
Rakul.
me. Watch me what? Watch me roll that one. Think it's of an average amount of stealth. 3. I step on a twig.
check.
And as I said, Ivor is like very specifically like away from Rek.
You don't quite get that far.
How far away do I get?
I would say you were like right here-ish. So, okay, so that cool.
Yes.
That cool.
I didn't make him to be dexterous.
Mhm.
He put me
Roll.
strong and intelligent.
Yep. Next time, I'm not letting
Roll.
you go.
Well, I would have still probably made him roll
Yeah.
at some point.
Mhm.
So, you all make the silent decision, nod to each other that you're just going to try and avoid this. You're not sure if he would attack you, but you're not wanting to take the chance. And so you just decide to kind of skirt around him as he seems focused in this direction. But you, Rakul.
I stumble out of a bush, fall, face her. Ow.
Oh well, if only you were so fortunate.
The horse sees me.
Well, not yet. First, as you're trying to creep along,
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
yeah,
Don't be suspicious.
that
Don't be
that
suspicious.
will
Wait,
So-
what?
make a Constitution save.
Oh, good. I'm good at con. Yes!
That'll pass.
Yes! Phew!
So
Bet
you'll
that one.
take
Wait, what?
natural. Or actually, rather than having, I'll just have the die. So you take 4 plus 1.
What?
As you're creeping along,
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
yes, essentially, what you mistook for a root was not a root, it was a snake. And you stepped on it.
I cover my mouth not to scream.
The snake latches onto your leg, injects you with its venom, and you take 3 points of poison damage, 1 point of piercing.
For okay. I tried to kick the snake off me.
Nope. Oh.
Oh, come on.
Make a athletics check.
Ooh, 18. That's pretty good.
That is very good. So, with that, you just kind of try to shake your leg. The snake's not coming off. So what you're forced to do is you kind of just the barest bit, kind of stomp your leg. You try to scratch it against the tree, and the snake does come loose.
As the
And
night
you
took,
believe
I turned slowly to the night. If he sees me.
and the night turns slowly to you.
Hey, shit.
Let's all roll initiative.
That's no longer an issue? What do you mean?
Make sure you have your token selected.
Yeah, I forgot as well.
I should probably also open this
It's okay, I rolled the same fucking thing.
16!
and delete the old one.
I'll be right back.
I might be able to save this. I might.
Might is very optimistic.
Yes, I'm trying to be optimistic.
Rakul, as the knight seems to have, as you seem to have drawn the knight's attention, what are you doing?
I am making sure that I don't look hostile at all.
All right.
I'm not trying to provoke a fight. Like, I am deliberately making myself look like I do not want to fight. But I'm not here to cause any trouble.
Okay. What are you specifically doing?
I am like my hammer is on my like attach me on a or is I am I just holding my hammer?
You tell me.
I'd assume not, given that you said you clapped both your hands to your face. Otherwise, you would have
Yeah,
hit
fair enough.
yourself in the mouth.
I make sure I untie the latch and let my hammer just go to the ground.
You can do so. All right.
Show that I do not want to fight. Can I roll anything? Persuasion,
Are you going to shout out to him? If so, you can.
maybe? No, I'm more or less hands up in the air, weapon nowhere near my reach, in my hands.
You can do that, but I wouldn't say that's really enough to roll persuasion.
Okay, then let me. So he has taken notice me.
He seems to have, yes.
Insight?
All right. You're scared. You're not sure.
Yeah, he's. I, uh, I don't want. I don't want trouble. I do not want to start a fight. Please.
All right. Either.
Mm-hmm. And I just barely keep myself from like breathing heavily and sighing. And I'm gonna keep going in like I'm gonna like try and kind of circle around this way. I have half movement because I'm stealth. So I'm gonna go like this way, like and be like behind this tree.
You can do so.
I just have my axe ready.
All right. Trick.
I would like to get into the tree that I am beside.
Not too difficult. No check required. You can scamper up
And of
easily
course,
enough.
stealth.
You can just keep your stuff as you're still
Perfect.
stealth.
Now I have my bow at the ready, and I am preparing an attack to shoot this motherfucker.
All right, you can do so. So then, as it comes to him, take the reins. You see him take the reins of the horse, and he snaps them, and the horse starts off at just a meager trot in your direction.
Like he's just breathing, like sweating. Like he does not want to fight. He doesn't. He's not a fighter. I'm not a fighter.
As he approaches, he calls out, "Who goes there? State your name and place of origin."
I am Rack. Of the I was born in the. It's sorry. I'm a little frightened at the moment, sir. Sorry. I was born in the capital city. I am a divine artificer.
Ah,
I I was on a job and I was attacked by bandits and stripped of mostly everything but my divine weapon.
first of all, roll a deception.
I had to try.
I don't blame you.
please, Lady Luck. 14. That's good.
That is not bad. That's unfortunate, though.
Oh fuck!
Even without bonuses, that is a 15. Sure you are. What are you doing all the way out here in Limgrave, Artificer? And why are you so shiny?
Working with gears makes oil on the
I
face,
imagine-
sir. I
Sorry to
was.
interrupt, but I imagine that I hear him call him shiny. Do I notice that he is shiny?
I have golden skin.
Oh, is that what you meant by shiny?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was talking about like an aura that all Tarnished have.
I was on a small job to fix a construct nearby.
Oh, and where was this job?
To let me see. Not too far from here.
Alright, step over. Show your hands.
I do. I show my hands.
Alright. He reaches to a pouch at the side of the horse and retrieves looks like a pair of cups.
Are those really necessary? Good night.
Well, if you're gonna lie to a soldier of the Golden Order. Now, do you want to come clean?
To be fair, I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to get back home. I'm not 100% what's going on. I just woke up and then I'm just trying to make my way back home.
You can. And as he beckons you closer, I assume you do.
Yes. I
have returned.
I'm not gonna type because it takes so much time, but you're not certain. Your odds are definitely not great, even purely based on the fact that he has a horse.
Well, I assume he's off
Killing
the
him
horse
before he
now,
can retreat.
isn't he?
Oh no, he's very much so on the horse.
Damn.
But killing him before he can retreat, very unlikely.
So then
please, my father has spoke highly of the guard. I beg you, sir, please let me go. I just
Why
want.
are you so damn shiny? You're tarnished, aren't you?
N-
And with that, he raises the glaive and is going to swing it.
Okay. At that could before he swings it down, given that
Can
there
I
was
say
a
something?
fairly long conversation, could Ivor like come out and try and hit him?
I would say sure.
Can I say something before this all goes awry?
Advantage.
Probably not.
Fuck.
Oh, that was whispered, but it was a 20 to hit for 7 damage.
Spartan, what's that shit on your end?
Hmm?
Do you not hear the fucking chirping?
Chirping? I don't.
Am I hearing shit, guys?
No, I hear it too.
Yes, I
Heard
agree.
as well.
I'm
Coming
not
from
sure.
Thornton.
The FBI is doing Morse code.
Perhaps.
Lad, you're a computer guy.
hit.
Translate that shit.
A 20 will definitely hit, and It will do 7 points of damage as you smash it into the back of his armor.
I will also like to loose my arrow.
Go ahead.
You have advantages because hidden.
Indeed.
That's 23 to hit.
Yes.
7 points of piercing from the short bow.
And sneak attack.
That is a total of 11.
Alright, 7 and 11.
And it comes back to
Now,
my. He comes down.
not quite. So, you, Ivor, sneak up with your glintstone hand axe and smash it as best as you can to the sweet spot between the armor. Utrick also loose your arrow. Yours does hit true, though it somewhat rebounds off of his armor. Okay, and with that, he will continue his swing.
Yeah.
13 might actually miss.
Hey, we have no armor, so yes.
Very true.
I'm getting you armor. Shut up.
Which will deal. You will take
I'm
10 points
down.
of slashing damage. For his second attack, he will turn it on you
Second attack.
for 13, which I think misses.
That does miss.
Alright. So with the first swing of his glaive, realizing that you are tarnished, he will swing his glaive from the side. It cleaves through Rakul's chest, and he goes sprawling to the ground. He then brings it in an arc towards you, Ivor, but you're able to dodge out of the way. And with that, he's not going to move. That'll be his turn. Comes back to the top of the round.
Death saving throw.
Yes.
Save.
That.
Please bring me up. That's my turn.
Right. Next comes to Ivor.
Alright. I would like to arage.
You can do so.
And I'm going to could I try and I want to try and grab him and like take him off of the horse.
You German suplex him.
You could definitely attempt it. Make a
Athletic?
attack roll first. Have to hit first.
I'm just gonna use like the glintstone hand axe. I'm just gonna click that.
That's fine.
Oh.
7 will miss.
Well,
It just
either way,
tinks against his armor.
Either way, I would have missed. So it works perfectly.
All right. I assume that's all for you.
I believe that is
All right, Trick.
Just I finished my Haagen-Dazs.
Trick has Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, I have
Greedy
Haagen-Dazs.
bastard. Greedy bastard. He didn't try and share.
My Haagen-Dazs. Fuck you.
As Rakul is bleeding out.
I'll just put an arrow in your skull, finish you off. No, I'm kidding. I would like to try and shoot him again.
You can do
Still
so.
stealth and camouflage in this tall bush.
You're not quite stealth anymore. You can wait. Do you even have cunning action? I don't think so.
Not yet, I don't.
So yes, you're not
Because-
stealthed, but
Do I still get sneak attack because I have an ally within 5 feet of the enemy?
yes, you
Yes.
just don't have advantage.
Fuck!
Would like, he
Yes,
would
that
be
will really miss.
no, he would have advantage since allies in 5 feet around.
That's not
No.
that's flanking, and he's not going. And Spartan's not doing that unless you get that as a racial thing.
That is not even a racial thing.
Yeah, it is. Cole will get it.
You're thinking of pack tactics.
It's still not a racial thing.
Well, pack tactics, yes. Flanking in general, no.
What I'm referring to is that some DMs allow advantage on flanking, but even still, I don't get advantage just because there's an ally within 5 feet. I just get sneak attack,
Yeah.
and I think using that, and I think you're confusing that with the fact that advantage is one of the many ways I can get sneak.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
All right. With that, it comes to its turn. Choosing monster expands. Start of its turn. Actually, it's going to use a legendary action.
This bitch has legendary actions.
The horse is going to raise up on its hind legs, and then it's going to slam down towards the ground. Every creature within 10 feet must make a strength saving throw. You automatically fail.
Fuck. Don't be laughing,
That-
bitch.
That's
Will
why
pass.
I'm in the tree.
So you will take half of...
I just automatically lose. Have 2 failures.
You will take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Reduced
Either.
to 0.
No,
Because
I was already reducing.
Oh,
And
got it.
I
You are dealt
Was-
two. You are dealt 2 points of damage,
I
and
wasn't looking at
yes,
the screen.
any sort of damage dealt to a dying creature automatically fails 2 death saves.
Yes,
Well,
and then it will come...
No. It fails 1 death save. If it's a critical, then it's 2
Oh,
death saves. The way
yeah.
that it works is that if you're hit by a melee attack when you are dying, it's an automatic crit.
Can we say that I've
That's
tumbled?
why it's usually 2. So
Yeah.
he does only take one failed save.
Can we say
Just
that
one.
that my body moves over 5 feet over?
Not quite what it does. It is at most a prone if you fail. It does not move you at all.
Ow.
Yes. With that, it comes to its actual turn. Is going to just kind of circle around, gain momentum, and try to cleave at Ivor. For the
Miss.
first one will go wide. Second one will hit.
Oh.
For 4 points of slashing damage. Wait, actually, is this? Magical? No, it is. Okay, yes, it's just 4.
Even if it's magical, it still is damage.
Either way, it is 4 points slashing damage. That is its turn. Afterwards, Rakul, death save.
Yes.
That will pass.
Ooh, that's another save, buddy. Aren't you? This is it. Isn't the next one like gonna decide your fate?
No. Either I succeed and I am stable, or I have 2 more chances.
Remember, just because you're stable and unconscious doesn't mean you can't die from being stabbed.
Alright, Ivor, comes to you. The tree sentinel is bearing down on you.
All right. I'm going to try and do the same thing again. I'm going to try and grapple him, which is opposed athletics.
You gotta hit first.
Technically. The fuck?
Yeah,
Did I
that's
not
gonna
hit?
miss.
I'm rolling great damage. I just cannot fucking hit. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Then
your
as my
attempts.
bonus action, I'm going to shift.
You can do so. The primal rage of being in a very likely life or death scenario pushes you to the brink, and the shift comes over you. Gnarled growths grow out of your forehead, bark-like, as well as along your skin, and on your hands, your nails lengthen into claws. All right. Trick comes to you.
Shooting him because I am not getting anywhere. Because I'm not fucking getting anywhere near that. I imagine that's gonna hit.
Yes,
You know, would you be surprised to say it will not hit?
Bruh!
he's in full plate mail. His AC is probably a 20.
If he's in full plate, then it's an 18 natural.
And he also has a big ass shield.
He's got a shield. That means, fuck you, DM.
Why?
Listen,
No,
this was not
no,
supposed
I
to be
will
combat.
not listen.
You
You're
knew.
about to fucking
Do not-
TBK your level 1 party, you dumb bitch.
Don't blame me. This is the first boss in the game.
You could have just said that I persuade him to let me go because of just barely by 1 point.
If you rolled high enough, I would have. But you didn't.
It's called fudging rolls.
It's called fudging, you motherfucker.
Hey,
Yeah.
it has integrity, unlike some people.
Unlike the rest of us.
Yes.
If you rolled high enough, I definitely would have. All right, Trick. Wait, did you attack? I'm not looking at the
I
check.
did attack. I rolled a 17.
Right. Yes, that will miss.
Which means I have to roll a 15 or higher to hit this fucking thing.
13
yes,
or
I
higher.
would recommend
Yeah.
fleeing. Fleeing is an option.
We're not leaving behind the Geth.
You can
Well,
carry
he's got a
me.
fucking horse. He's got a
Yes,
fucking horse.
but if you'd asked about your surroundings, what I would have said is that, like, further off towards the edge of the map, the forest gets quite a bit thicker. It would be difficult to follow on a large creature.
Well, if the big man's gonna go, if the big man goes down, then I'm definitely fucking fleeing. That's fuck that.
All right. When it comes to its turn, it is again. Well, it could stomp again. It's fine though. It's just going to use its glaive to make 2 more attacks at you, Ivor, circling around you. So that will definitely hit. For 7 points of slashing damage.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sounds good.
Alright. It's then swing again. For another hit, and it will deal
Mm-hmm.
6 points of slashing
3,
damage.
4, 5, 6. Sounds good.
After that, it will come to a cool death save.
I am
Bad roll.
stay.
Oh!
Get me out of here!
Alright, so
Am
you,
I?
Rakul, as you see the glaive swinging towards you, the world for you goes dark. And once again, the blanket of that cold, inviting warmth washes over you. But you hear a voice just at the back of your mind. Not yet. And your eyes open.
Can I drink the potion?
I believe, yes, you can.
I drank it.
I believe you still get your full turn, I think.
Yeah, he like pops up to 1 at the start of his turn.
I stand back up. Can I pop off that health potion?
You absolutely can. Alright, so you will regain 2d4 plus 2.
Ooh, that's not that bad. That's
Two-
pretty. That's a pretty good healing potion.
2d4. Okay, plus 2, which is
Hey lad, do you see why I recommended
7.
cure wounds?
I'm at 8 points. I'm almost
Yes,
at.
I see it quite clearly.
I'm at 8 HP. Seeing this, I would say I'm at health half movement, right?
Yes, as you're standing from prone, you have 15.
I am. So which way is the stench forest?
The edge, whichever edge you choose.
I'm gonna 15 feet over here, and then touch some stones and cast catapult on him towards him.
I don't know if you have the object interactions left, but go ahead.
It's an action.
I know that. I mean, like, potion, that's one object interaction, then stone, but it's fine. Go ahead. I don't
Give
really.
me-
Are you ruling downing and potioning as taking an action or a bonus action?
It's probably bonus action. Either way, it's fine.
And he has the object interaction skills to do it.
Give me a dex
He's
save
fine.
on this man made of metal on a horse.
Oh, you said deck save.
Yes! Give me it!
I see. I'm not mistaken. That is indeed negative. That will be a 5.
He takes 14 bludgeoning damage straight to the fucking face. As a gong goes. A
Pretty
bunch
much
of
that. You lift off. You use one free hand to lift off a stone. You gather your hands around it, and you release your hands, and it floats there, levitating in the air. And then, with your mind, you use force to project it straight toward his dome piece. And it clangs off.
And then I yell, scatter!
Alright.
Yelling us to retreat. Okay, we cannot win this fight.
With that, it will come to Ivor.
Alrighty. I'm going to use action to disengage. And
Alright.
which is the direction that was hard to follow?
It is the edge. The closest one's here.
Alright, 5.
Like, the entire edge is, like, difficult.
Okay. So I'm like 35 more feet off than this.
Cool.
Wouldn't you say with the rocks hitting his helmet, he's a little disorientated? Like big gong like went off and boom.
Does catapult stun?
No, I'm just trying
Man,
trying to
no.
come on. Have you ever
I will. The one thing I will say is I try to be fair, if harsh, fair but harsh.
Huh, it doesn't sound like a Dark Souls game. Because they're only harsh.
All right. With that, Ivor, anything else?
Throw
no, Not
something.
really anything else I can do.
Oh, you are just
I used my action.
yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
All right. Then we'll come to Trick.
I am going to sling my bow, acrobatics out of the tree, and I'm going to dash to the forest, like Naruto style.
You can actually roll acrobatics to get either a bonus or penalty to your movement.
What
Pretty
does the
good.
12 get me?
5 feet extra.
Let's go! 65 feet.
All right. You are long gone. You're out.
I'm out of there. And I'm going right back again.
Now, Rakul.
Because of that movement penalty.
Yeah, he would charge after you. And
Well,
try to
he
attack you. That's
well
what
to be
he would
honest,
do.
he was focused on him a lot more than me. He's a bigger
I
threat.
suppose you have a point.
The barbarian's
So-
a more bigger threat than me.
1 is Rakul, 2 is Ivor.
Two. Sorry. Yes, I'm alive.
That will be Ivor.
I'm sorry.
So as you charge, well, actually, okay, yeah. So as you charge away from him, does he even have that movement for this? Oh, yeah, it's a horse. It's 40 feet.
Sorry, Ranger.
So I'm 30 feet away from him right now, but I'm an additional 35 feet more than that since I disengaged and I just ran.
Ooh, disengage gives you extra movement. I was not aware.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, disengage
Alrighty.
is an action and lets you move your movement, and then I can just use my move action to then move my movement. I'm pretty sure. I'll check real quick just to make sure.
Alrighty.
Disengage. Okay. Oh, never mind. I am mistaken. It just lets me not provoke attacks of opportunity, so I'm only 5 feet more off the screen.
You could have used a potion if you wanted to.
And that's a bonus action?
Yes.
Then, yeah, I'll down the potion, I guess.
2d4 plus 2. Alright. Yes. And with his glaive, though he himself cannot pass through the thicket of trees, his glaive will extend past him and swipe at your back as you're retreating.
Please miss. Please miss. Please miss. Shit.
For 17.
17
That will do.
Yeah, unless he crits, I physically couldn't die.
I'm sorry, Ranger, that I made you the target.
I'm
We'll
supposed to
do
be the target.
5
I'm
slashing.
apologizing.
Yeah.
I will do 5 slashing, and he will bring the glaive back up to slash you again.
Sounds good.
Back to me. Oh wait, he's slashing again.
And that one will go wide.
Yeah.
But yes, comes to you, Rakul.
Before I move, I cast catapult again.
Go ahead.
You're very loud.
Sorry. I'm very, energetic. Give me a dex save for 10 or take 10 damage.
That might pass.
Fuck, it does.
Okay, yeah, that's half. That's no damage, not half. So this one just goes wide.
Then I move 30 feet out of into the woods.
All right, you can do so. That combat is effectively ended, unless anyone would like to come back.
Like,
All right, so as you run off into the woods, you just hear him behind you shouting, "Get back here, Tarnished! You'll not ruin our empire."
Make me.
really? Really, I4? Really? Increasing, making him pissed off more?
I doubt he could be pissed off more.
Okay.
All right, so you run quite a ways off, getting away from the immediate edge of the forest. What are you doing?
Okay. Okay, that was something. I should have expected this. They hate people like me. Does anyone respond from that? To me saying that.
Not really.
Red
I'm back.
Cool. Oh, okay. Red Cool just says this. I should have expected this. They hate people like me. As Red Cool brings out the compass again, trying to figure out which way to go now.
Well, what you recall, she said west, so you can continue westward.
Yeah, we continue westward.
Yes, we shall continue westward.
All right. With almost certain death averted, continue on your way.
Can't believe that happened.
You were the more who stepped on a twig. Or is that a snake? I'm not sure.
I'm not a fighter. I'm more of a builder. I am. Plus, I need armor. I'm
Why don't you
hard.
build yourself some quieter boots?
I'm not terrible at stealth, at being quiet. I'm just average about it all.
You're the only one who had a snake bite them.
Let's just say I'm fate has not been kindly upon me a lot of times.
All right. With that grim discussion, we'll all continue westward. You're traveling for about an hour. You leave the forest behind about half an hour ago, and now you're just traveling through relatively flat hills. And as you crest one hill, you do see off in the distance, about 200 feet or so. This is in fact a village, though it's much less than what you've expected. From your vantage point, it seems like there's at most 20 to a dozen shoddy looking wooden buildings. Uh, in the center, they're kind of arranged in like a circular fashion. And in the center, you see what's likely just this stone paved common area.
Do any of these buildings appear to be shops, or are these all just residents?
From what you can tell, 200 feet away, there don't seem to be any shops, but again, you're not really sure.
I could probably get some work here, maybe fix a few there and then and pick up some coin. I don't think maybe pickpocketing them is a good idea. Trick. We don't want to be ran out of town.
Well, that's why I'm good at. That's why I'm better at what I do the most.
What about you? What Ivor? What's your plans when we get there?
I would prefer just yeah. I'm just going to look around before I decide anything.
Hmm. Um, Trick. May I ask you if you can do something while you're doing your thing?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Maybe keep a ear out on anything mentioned the law burns at all, if possible.
Well, if you're from where you say you're from, then I don't think you're gonna have any issues with your face being known here.
No, I'm more of wondering if any news came at all. Like people are talking about maybe someone, my faith. Maybe I'm not sure.
Well, again, if you are who you say you are, you're not somebody of that much importance.
Ow.
Well, to be fair, not a lot of us are very well known throughout our lives. This man probably nobody's ever heard of except for maybe his family from the Cold Lands. And I was kept secret from the world so I could profit, so my family could profit off my skills and gifts.
Let us head in.
All right. You all approach the village, and as you get close, entering, you very quickly realize that these people are severely impoverished. Uh, the first pair, or the first people you notice, are a pair of women. They're at one of the closer buildings. They're outside, sitting in these little shoddy chairs, knitting one thing or another out of yarn. Haven't seemed to have noticed you. Oh, what
Shrek,
do you guys do?
Shrek just kind of like smooths on by.
Oh no.
You can do so easily enough. You just continue on your way through the village, just giving them a passing glance. As you do pass, they just kind of mildly look up at you. And then they shriek. Whatever yarn creation they're making, they throw to the ground, and both of them run inside their hovel, shutting the door.
Okay, that's. I am. That's a new. That's not new for me. I think.
The commotion seems to have drawn others, as some others poke their heads out of windows, and others who are milling about the street turn their heads. There are similar reactions, screams, shouts of terror, running, primarily away from you, into homes, wherever they can find shelter.
I
Even
believe.
from me?
I believe we should leave now.
I don't think this is the best place. I'm not even sure what's causing this.
I think it's us. as
Well, no shit, it's us. I'm just not sure what of us is causing it.
I think at this point, Reckless right now rushing out of town.
You can do so. As you go to turn, however, you hear from behind you an old voice. Trick, are you retreating as well? Or are you looking to see who is approaching?
I will look to see who is approaching.
Q. You looking, you see three figures. Two of them look to be teenage boys, and they're maybe mid to late seasons. They both flank on either side this old, crusty man. He has this long gray beard that looks knotted with anything from leaves to acorns to ribbons, anything that can be found, really. And they're all similarly dressed in shoddy clothes. You see that the boys flanking him, they have just pitchforks.
And
Calls out to you. Yes.
Chuck is gonna go, shit.
He calls out to you. Tarnished, we are poor folk with nothing to give. Please, do not raid us.
Raid?
We
You gonna take me for a pillager?
No, sir. We wouldn't dare think you were a pillager, no.
I hear this, right?
Or have you retreated?
No, not hearing this now. I'm hearing footsteps now. We don't mean any harm. We're, we're not here to cause any problems at all.
Tarnished, who don't mean to cause trouble. They don't exist. Now tell me, what is it you've come for?
Shelter. Perhaps a bit of coin to be put on our way. We mean you no harm, like he said. We bring our weapons to protect ourselves from anyone who wishes us harm.
You see that this old crusty man, he kind of gestures for one of the boys on his left side, and the boy kind of like kneels down to put his head to the old man's mouth, kind of whisper something between themselves. The old man finally waves him off, turns back to you, saying, "Well, we have not much in the way of coin, but shelter, that can be arranged. Um,
Do you have a smithy?
a smithy, son. You've seen the village. No, we don't. If you don't mind, if you come along, best not to dawdle where people can see you and cause more of a fuss than you already are."
Um, yes.
Before we go, Ivor is going to look to him, and obviously he's like the biggest person, so I'm guessing he's the one more people are looking at.
You mean you're looking to this elderly man?
Yes.
Oh yes. Well, the elderly man is very much so crotchety and short, but he is kind of where the people who have their heads ducking out of windows turn to.
Um, sir, may I ask you a question? If
Uh,
it,
you you may ask, yes.
how are people able to just tell that we are what we are? Um,
Now, and Ivor is going to say, at the moment, that's not important.
I'm. It's
And I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, before we go any further, I want to make it clear we are not here to steal or anything. If we take any coin or any supplies, we will pay for them however we can,
Mm,
either through
Make a
trade or through work.
Make a persuasion with advantage.
Oh, with advantage already. So if I help him, it's not gonna make any difference.
Nope.
13.
13 is not bad. Hearing and digesting your words, you see that the man, there's almost this glimmer in his eyes. Kind of tilts his head at you. A tarnished will actually work for their goods. In all my seasons, I don't think I've ever seen such a thing. Very well. Please, let's get out of the center.
Raccoon will follow with him, with the old man.
As he does so, he waves off both the two teenagers at his side. To their disagreement, they essentially just stand aside as you all follow him.
And then I bring down the hammer. No.
So
I'm just messing
he
around.
leads you to what is presumably the elder's hut of the village. It's honestly indistinguishable from the rest of these destitute and ruined abodes. But he opens the door, leads you in. If you follow.
He follows. He politely follows in.
All right. So he closes the door behind him, and he goes to the wooden shutters. Not quite windows. Most they have is shutters. He kind of lifts one, peeks out, looking from side to side.
Now, to answer, I would like an answer to my friend's question. Are you able to tell that we're tarnished?
You glow, boy, like the gods themselves.
Huh.
I'll look at Rakul and Ivor. Do they glow to me?
No, if anything, they're just dirty and smelly.
Glowing.
That.
Well, that might be a problem.
So you say you truly didn't come to this village to raid?
No. No.
So I'm to understand that you are kind-hearted, Tarnished.
I am Raccoon
I'd like to think.
of the Lawburn family. I do not want to cause trouble. I just want to help people.
Lawburns, never heard of you.
I was from the capital, I guess. Now.
Ah, you're one of them golden boys.
I would
You
say
just hear a chuckle from Trick.
I'm more of a bronze, actually.
Right. Well, I was telling the truth before. We don't have much in the way of coin. All the goods that we do get are bartered for. Tools, all that we can really offer is lumbering axes, that sort. The
You have daggers.
women here, I believe some of the woodsmen do have knives and such.
I would appreciate a pair
If
of daggers.
to prove that we do mean that our words are true, I am willing to maybe help in maybe fixing a few things around for free.
Well,
For pay.
I said for free to just prove in good faith that our words are true.
I'll certainly take free work if you're offering. You truly you can't be this naive, though. Were you born yesterday?
Reborn, I guess you could say it.
I truly believe that a small act of kindness can go a long way.
The rest of the turn is surely this assholeish.
Well, to begin with, most Tarnished don't show up in groups, so when they do, you can imagine we expect a raid.
Ah,
In general, though, I mean, do you truly know nothing of the world?
No.
not as a Tarnished. I came from a traveling circus, and my gifts of subterfuge and deception were put to good use on the stage.
Last time I remember, I was around the time the saint went missing.
Ah, you mean the twins?
Uh, I forget. She is the twin sister, right?
She is one of the twin prodigies. Her brother is Marcellus.
Yes, yes. And I don't remember what happened to me after that. That's all I can remember.
He opens his mouth
May I ask,
and then closes it.
how many seasons have passed since then?
My dear boy, the twins ascended an age ago.
In age?
An age, hundreds of years at the very least.
At that moment, the shot. He has like out of body experience at that moment.
So
Wait.
you're saying that we've been dead for centuries?
Mm, I I'm not certain myself of when the Tarnished appeared, when they came from. Him at the very least, if that's what he remembers. The Saints, the Shattering might have been, what, a century ago?
The Shatter.
You know nothing. You truly know nothing of the Shattering, the night of the Black Knives.
We woke up in a
Calm-
mausoleum not
calm-
24 hours ago.
Calm down, Trick. Calm down. Calm down. Let's keep our voices nice and calm, the best we can. So calm, Trick.
Look, in our perspective,
Breathe.
we had a we. I'm calm now. Right, cool. Just let me speak, and I won't get pissy again. To us, we remember our last moments, and in a
Big.
blink of an eye, we woke up in a mausoleum.
We had very few people to actually aid us in knowing what has happened to us.
I can offer what little knowledge I have. Mm, Okay, then. I suppose I'll start at the beginning. Uh, so the story goes, in the night of the Black Knives, the lands between suffered the first ever death of a demigod. Not one, but two. And this was, of course, long after the saints themselves ascended. Uh, Godwin the Golden, the eldest of the demigods, he was the firstborn of Queen Marika. He was the first to perish. Followed quickly by the Carian dynasty's Luna Princess. Uh, exactly what followed, I'm not certain, but so as the clergy says, the Elden Ring was shattered and its shards scattered across the lands between. They say Queen Marika herself ascended, and the remaining demigods warred, each claiming a shard from themselves. But alas, it was a war from which no lord arose. And thus we are here.
So we are without Lord. The royal is at least the royal family still intact.
Well, they've scattered to each continent of the lands between. The twins themselves have long ascended, along with the Queen Marika. Radagon, the Lord, he's vanished from the capital, so they say. There's, of course, the demigods of the Karian dynasty. The youngest, Rani, she perished. I believe that Radon, the eldest, and Rykard are both living. Know exactly where, I have no idea. And there was one more, the eldest daughter of the God Queen. I forget her name.
At this point, Raku's gonna go on a limb and say, what's her name? Let me get. I mean, why am I terrible with names still? It's Vivian, right?
Who are you referring to?
Raku's heart, or his love.
Vienna.
Was her name Vienna?
No, I don't believe so. Never heard of a V.
Okay.
It started with an M, like the rest. I'm not sure though.
A M. Raku's mind is gonna go wonders. Would it be? It wouldn't. Melion?
Melina?
Melina.
You're trying to say?
Yeah, Melina?
That sounds about right. Not Melina though. It was Millennia. That's the one. The eldest daughter, the divine martyr. That was her.
Divine Martyr?
That's her title.
Oh.
Of course, now all the remaining demigods, they've scattered to each corner of the land between with their shards, and we live in a stagnant, fractured world.
And
Supposedly, it's the role of the Tarnished to fix that, but as you can see, they tend to take more than they give.
and the Golden Dawn and the Golden Guard has spearheaded this to kill every Tarnished in sight, I'm guessing.
That, well, repeat what you said.
The Golden Guard.
Golden Guard. So, what are you referring to?
The You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
If he knew what you were talking about, he wouldn't ask you to repeat it 2 times.
Oh, sorry. The army, the captive soldiers.
The Golden Sun.
The Golden Suns. I would my mistake.
Not quite. Well, the Tree Sentinel. He would be one of the forces of the Golden Order, but it's generally just called the Golden Order's
My mistake.
army.
My mistake. My mistake.
Well, there are some differences though, but it's not relevant here.
So, okay, then forget I said that.
I mean, you would basically just have said like the Golden Order's forces, essentially.
Like the gold. So the Golden Order has taken arms against the Tarnished, I'm guessing.
Believe so. I think they've. Not sure which lord supposedly claimed Lyondell in the falling out, but they clearly do not have kind thoughts of Tarnished.
Neither do any other people, apparently.
Well, I think that what the world needs is Tarnished such as yourself. Someone who can turn over Godric.
God. Would I know that name?
You would know it. You can make a religion.
Or would it be history?
It would be a religion.
Fuck! Well, let's shot. 10.
So, you've definitely heard of Godric.
Gryffindor?
So, Godric in your time. Okay, so Godric in your time. This was, of course, during the Age of Prosperity. Godric was an upstart. He'd come to the capital and sought audience with the God Queen. He claimed to be one of the offspring of the first Elden Lord, Godfrey. Lots of names, but the TLDR is whether or not his claims are accurate, uncertain, but he was given some lordship over Limgrave.
Would I through my times in lined up, would I ever like interacted with him at all or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay, just asking. Yes, I believe during the Age of Prosper, he yes, I have heard of that name before. He claimed to be an offspring of Godfrey.
Right. Well, whether or not he's truthful or not, it's irrelevant. He claims lordship over Stormvale Castle to the north. He is, for all intents and purposes, the lord of this land, and as such, he is very much so taking it upon oath to reap that which we have sown.
Reap what we have
I'm
sown.
sure you've noticed the only men we've had in the village are the two boys.
He has
Well, if you need any
cleared
muscle work done,
he has
a
cleared
good lad could probably do it.
So he had cleared martial law.
It's not simply martial law. He is Lord of Limgrave.
Would you like for us to
And
fix the issue?
you saw where I was going to.
I was raised in a life of trickery and subterfuge. Though, if need be, a neck or two might be slit in the night.
Well, if you're interested in going after him, I would certainly not be opposed, though make no mistake, he holds his lordship for a reason. He may be the runt, but his strength is undeniable. It's one of the reasons that I'm so hesitant to have you be seen. I worry that someone will blabber and he'll send his men.
Is if you wish us to take him down, or even just to convince him, we need to know. We need things to defend ourselves more efficiently.
Specifically, armor.
Would you know any mines nearby?
Mines?
Mines.
I only work with leather.
There are mines nearby, but most of them likely have been requisitioned. What you need is, and almost as if on cue, you make a perception check. All peoples.
Perception.
For fuck's sake!
It's
18!
This fucker doesn't even have a modifier.
Yeah.
Well, Trick, you don't quite notice it, but even Ivor with your 9, you do notice it. DC's not very high.
Get
This is bullying. You're racist changelings.
It's not my fault. You have terrible
the
rolls.
dice are racist to change.
Yeah. Yes. They hate changelings.
No, it's the DM's fault. He's racist.
So, just flooding into the town, reaching most of your ears. Actually, Trick, you have advantage for reasons.
Roll again. Trick.
For reasons.
Yes. I mean, good enough, I guess.
You know, if fucking Ivor's 9 works, I think my 9 should work.
Yeah,
Your 9 does work, yes.
So funny.
So, rolling into the town, there is a tune familiar to one of you. It was not one that was played in your circus, but any performer worth their salt would know it at the very least. I'm gonna actually try to replicate.
As soon as I hear it, I'll perk up. What in the 9 tails of the Erd Tree?
It's I think the instrument would be like just a soft viola slowly picking back up. Something like
Watch it not even be lad.
Slowly picking up. It goes something like which you, Trick, would recognize as the Ballad of Symphony.
The Ballad of Symphony. I am not mistaken. That's the Ballad of Symphony. I haven't heard that in years.
This is the old man. That means that the traders come. He's going to be coming one of these days. We're fortunate. Now, be warned. I'm sure you've heard of Symphony's orchestra. They are efficient, if ruthless. I wouldn't cross them.
A Symphony's orchestra. Would I know that?
Yeah, you can all make history checks.
Ivor doesn't know it.
Do I get an
Actually-
advantage because things?
7.
You don't get advantage. But either you don't have to roll. You have heard
Okay.
of Symphony's orchestra, though.
Okay. I've heard of it.
I'm curious if Lucidus would be part of this, or if he.
Now
or if
shut up,
this is something-
Tarnished.
Tarnished!
Fuck off. Fuck off. You're also tarnished.
Yes. But unlike you, we are not maidenless.
Technically, we are.
You technically
haven't
are.
really-
You're just.
You haven't really
You
discussed the state of your maiden between yourselves, whether or not she even exists. But that's neither here nor there. With your 7s, you get that Symphony's
Stop watching
orchestra
TikTok.
is a merchant guild, a very prosperous merchant guild, allowed to go even places such as the north. And they're very much so untouchable to a degree. They're not affiliated with any real region or not even really the Golden Order. They do business with them.
They're
not
the
like,
neutral.
partners, though.
They're neutral.
Very much so neutral, yes. So yes, that tune fills your ears flowing into town.
What?
I will look to the old man and say, "Do you know of any way to get rid of the glow of a Tarnished?"
Oh, I know none, though. Well, I know none that would let you keep your life at the very least. Which I can imagine, he says, kind of cracking a grin, is preferable.
Yes, staying alive would be part of the deal.
I'm not familiar, though your maiden's supposed to know. Don't you have one of those? Or I imagine you wouldn't, being born yesterday.
There was this weird dream that we all kind of shared, where this young woman wanted to be taken to the Erd Tree.
Right, well, we all dream of women, son.
At that point, Redcliffe face kind of gets red a little bit.
Alright. I'll try to negotiate on your behalf. Let's be off, make this brief.
Yes, we rather. I do not want to bring harm to you and your town. Honestly. Oh, our presence doesn't cost more trouble than it's needed.
Well, at this stage, any damage you can do has already been done. Okay, let's be off.
Off we go to see the wizard.
Prophecy. God damn it!
Well, I mean, I gotta turn the AC on at my place. It's hot in
And
here.
with that, Chuck is going to put his happy mask on to seem more friendly.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. Tis time.
Dick!
What? What's going on?
So,
Shit! No.
with that, they passed the point of convergence, or divergence, as I said, and headed off to see the trader. The trader would then, well, he would go on to give them an offer. I'll sort through it. It's jumbled in here somewhere. But for now, I believe this is as good a place to leave off as any. I have started to get the tiniest bit of a headache. One of you, please take note of this. Remind me where we ended.
As you wish.
With that, the girl will stand up from the fireside and go retire. As do we.
Yes.
Level up.
Come
Have
on.
you turned your runes into strength?
You're a fucking dick!
You are a right old bastard, cunt!
I always expect you guys to get through like much more than you actually do.
Then you overestimate D&D players.
Yes, especially when you throw a level 20 a CR 5 against 3 level 1s.
I suppose. I thought your first instinct would be to hide and flee immediately.
It
Was!
But this fucker stepped on a snake.
I thought you would run immediately. Why'd you talk to him?
Because I don't want surf. I thought maybe I can talk my way out.
With your negative charisma?
Like you said, I try not to start fights.
That's your problem.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless, you'll begin next session there. Lad, your prospects are not looking great for a while.
I was really hoping that this was going to be my
Alex,
introduction with the fucking
Yeah,
veal.
no, it doesn't seem like Spartan wants us to reach level 2.
I
No.
do!
Again, it's 100% our fault stuff is happening. Like, don't try and blame him.
Yeah.
I'm jokingly blaming him. I'm
Yeah.
not serious.
You have enough to, is what I will say. You just haven't.
We just have to sit down as we ask Melina to actually do it.
Melina, yes.
Melina, which we'll probably have it next session.
Yes, but what reason do our characters have to call in a girl that we believe to be from a dream?
Well, there's a lot of evidence that it wasn't a
You not actually discussed like your strange dream.
We did.
It's not been mentioned in character at all, from what I
Yes.
know.
Yeah, we did. As soon as after
You
we
mentioned it for like half a second to this dude, and then the dude said, we all dream of women, son.
No.
That's the only thing that was mentioned in character.
No, when you said we had a weird dream, and I asked, "Do you remember having a dream about a woman last
Yes.
night?" Yeah.
You said that, and then this dude said we all dream of women, son. And that's the extent of it. And then before we could talk about anything, we were interrupted by this dude.
Yeah.
We haven't actually talked about it at all in character.
Plus, in character, I remember hearing her voice, didn't I? When I
We
was.
all remember hearing her voice.
No, can I finish?
Then
No,
then
I
uh,
know.
then quickly add the stuff next time.
When I was unconscious.
Okay.
Am I wrong, Spartan?
Perhaps. It was a familiar voice of a woman who is close to you. I mean, realistically, all my female voices are one voice, so
Yeah.
it was all of them, but none of them.
Okay. Well, have a good day, buddy. I'm gonna stop streaming now.
All right. Bye, stream.
Bye. I don't think we ever had anyone join in.